Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button as you come on in. Emergency live stream, man. Emergency live stream. Yep. You see the title. Breaking news. I was in the middle of making another video and then the news came out. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and go live real quick and give our thoughts on this because this fight is supposed to be happening this weekend between Janibek and Lara. The co-main event to the Lamont Roach and Pitbull card, right? This dude tests positive according to Mike Cap. Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button. Yeah, this is alarming, GK. Yeah. Salute to everybody in the building, man. We ain't gonna be too long. I know this is not normally a time we go live, but this is kind of like breaking news almost. So let's see. But this is what Mike Cap said, y'all. Right here. Janibek, I can never pronounce this dude's name. Somebody's gonna have to say it for me, then I can repeat it. But Janibek Ali has delivered an adverse analytical finding for a performance-enhancing drug following a VADA test. Sources tell Ring Magazine. Janibek's middleweight title unification versus Erislandy Lara on Saturdays in serious jeopardy. Lara's boxing's oldest male. Oh shit! Hold up. I had the whole thing. Well, he pretty much is the oldest male champion in the sport, basically, right? Hold up. It was something else. This is what Janibek said a while ago. And then Mike Cap says, half the field for Lara. Erislandy Lara, 42 years old, taking on his toughest test in years. Just finished training camp and trying to knock off the Ring Magazine #1 middleweight to become a 3-belt champion, only for the fight to likely fall through. That's boxing. Now, this is what Mike Cap had to say, right? And look, check it out. A few weeks ago, right? A few weeks ago. This was last month on the 15th at 8:30 p.m. He said, today VADA came to my house for the second time and took another sample. I stand for clean sport. But then he's testing positive like a few weeks later. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy, y'all. Adverse findings. Adverse analytical finding. He had a picogram or I don't know what these dudes be doing, bro. But this is surprising, bro. This is very surprising. I didn't expect nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all smash that like button for your boy, man. Y'all be playing me on likes. But I didn't expect this from Janibek at all, man. I don't know what to say about it. I'm not about to start talking shit or nothing like that. Because we don't know, you know, we've been down this road before many times with these guys, man. And, you know, I don't know if it was a mistake made or what the hell. But Lara's 42 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why now? You know what I'm saying? Why as soon as you about to fight somebody that has a post who done something in boxing, Lara should probably be a Hall of Famer. He's just really quiet. But why now? You strange enough, the I guess you could say this is the biggest test of his career, even though Lara's 42 years old. You could say this is probably Janibek's best opponent thus far. Why now? You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting on him a conspiracy theory hat or nothing saying, oh, well, you want to test positive because you scared of Lara. No. But why now? Now all of a sudden you testing positive when you about to fight somebody that got something. That shit's crazy, y'all. You said everyone is on steroids. Yeah, man, that's what Nate Diaz used to say all the time. You said Lara was about to whoop him, scrutiny go be too much. Yeah, man, Lara's about to. Who knows? I think Lara could beat him, but ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying? Lara's 42 now. He has been looking good in the shit lately, but you said Lara's 50 and he needed PEDs. Yeah, that's right. Smash a like, man. We ain't gonna be too long this afternoon. But we just had to talk about this real quick, man. This is crazy news, bro. This fight might not happen now, bro. That card was stacked. The card is pretty stacked. This is a pretty solid card, too, man. This was definitely one of the fights to look forward to because the winner could possibly be facing Terrence Crawford somewhere down the line. Now, speaking of Bud, they're saying rumors that Bud Crawford wants 100 million to rematch Canelo, but we'll talk about that some other time. That's just some of the latest. Hey, Janibek, man, that's crazy, right? I say don't jump off the bandwagon just yet, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't jump off the bandwagon just yet. The B sample may come back clean, like Jaime Menguia's did. You know what I'm saying? Janibek probably, we gotta wait, bro. But this is never really a good thing when he's that guys test positive like that. You know what I'm saying? Janibek to me don't strike me as a guy that'll cheat though. To be honest, I don't see him as I don't really follow him too much, but based off what I've seen from the guy, he just don't strike me as that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you guys hear me? Y'all hit the one in the chat if you hear me. My bad, y'all. Man, I swear, bro. I tried to do a quick video real quick and people just calling and shit and knock me all off the. All right, we good. Yeah, man. I was cooking too, man. I forgot what I was saying now, bro. That's why I'm just getting my setup back up, man. I gotta get a new microphone and everything, bro. But because I'm gonna get a whole new setup and everything. But yeah, what was I saying? I was cooking too, man. That shit, man. Come on, man. What was I saying, bro? I forgot what I was saying now, y'all. But we can't keep. Oh yeah, we can't keep putting these jackets on people. I'm not saying that Janibek is cheating. This is just the latest news. This is the red flag right now, and now it's up to him to come out here and prove himself. Because we tend to do it, but I see the people have gotten better at not casting immediate judgment on people without all the facts first, without them getting a chance to prove themselves first. Now, if they keep doing some shit, then you can point the finger and throw that jacket on the motherfucker. But right now, we got to be like, you know what? We got to wait and see. Because Jaime Menguia, we kind of jumped the gun on him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then his B sample came back, was it negative, right? A positive, negative. B sample came back negative, which is rare. B sample usually comes back the same as the A sample. But in his case, it came back to reveal that he really wasn't cheating. So I guess as of right now, he's dirty, right? But we gotta wait till some more evidence comes out. We got to see if this fight even happens this weekend now, right? Because now it's in jeopardy. And 42-year-old Lara put it, that's when you get in your 40s, it's a lot harder than it is in your 30s. So yeah, this would be very unfortunate news for Lara, who's 42 years old, who about to be fighting in a really tough fight. And now it may not even happen now. You know what I'm saying? You said Suleiman had to help. You know what? I forgot about that part. You know what? You probably right, y'all. Y'all probably right about that. That's why I love the chat, man. Y'all probably right. Suleiman probably did have something to fix that, bro. Because McGuire looked at like him. He looked at way better in the second fight. Maybe he trained hard and all that, but I mean, yeah, you probably right. WBC tried to make they get their people the benefit of the doubt for sure. Ryan Garcia, look at him. He's getting a fucking title shot. It could have been accidental as well. That's why I'm not about to say dude's a cheater yet, nothing like that. I'm not about to do none of that. Cause I don't want to be out here coming back later saying, oh well, he end up like, nah. I'm gonna wait because he don't strike me as a guy that'll be cheating. He just don't seem like it. But we gotta wait and see. It could have been an accident, but it's also these dudes' responsibility to do their due diligence and know what they're putting into their bodies and what they're doing. Now they didn't come out and say it was ostarine or anything like that. Like with Subrio, I believe Subrio got tested positive for ostarine. They just found some adverse analytical finding. You know what I'm saying? They don't know exactly what it is just yet. It'll probably come out a little later, and I'll post it in the community tab once it does. But I don't know, man. I like to give a guy the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they never been in no shit before. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes mistakes do happen, but again, in 2025, these dudes should know what they put into their bodies. They should know what's on the banned substance list. Just because it wasn't on the banned substance list this month, don't mean it ain't on it the next month. So you got to keep checking them shits, man. You got to have people around you that's making sure you're doing everything you need to do to make sure you get to the damn fight. And that's putting the right things into your body. You said millions and thousands online. They know what they talking because it's big money on the line. I mean, it's big money. This is part of the event this weekend. And it was PBC's like last year event, right? It was like an end of the year type of event. Yeah, it's a pretty stacked card from top to bottom, if you ask me. Pretty, really, really, really good card from PBC. And now one of the main factors of that card won't possibly could possibly be in jeopardy. I hope it's not. Because I really want to see the fight. But he said, true. Why would you decide to put it? Yeah, you got to think about it, y'all. This dude had a potential fight with Crawford coming up. And with the way people been testing positive, getting caught, and I would think you had to be pretty stupid to take the risk, to be honest, to be frank, to be blunt. You got to be stupid to take the risk, especially when you got a potential super fight with Crawford could possibly be on the horizon, a life changing payday on the horizon. Or he could have like, I got to do what I got to do to make sure I get through this Lara fight. But then again, Lara's 42 years old. And Janibek seems like the hungrier, younger fighter for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at the two fighters, Lara and I mean, Lara's at the end of the road, but he's still good enough to beat most of those dudes. Janibek is fighting like he's still hungry. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. This is just the latest news, y'all. I guess he's guilty until proven innocent. I guess. You say he worried about Lara? He could be. Lara's a tricky fighter, man. You don't never know what with Lara. He don't be on the internet talking or none of that. You don't know what's gonna happen with Lara. You don't know if he gonna come out and box you or to come out and knock you out. You don't know what Lara gonna do. You said PBC been having bad luck all year. Yeah, they have. Hey, Lara's my favorite boxer, man. One of my favorite fighters, bro. So I'm kind of mad that I didn't get to see my boy fight one last time because I would imagine this is Lara's last fight. Um, if he loses, this would definitely be his last fight. If he wins, it could possibly be his last. Because people don't really want to fight Lara like that, bro. Even today, people just really like dudes with any type of name. Always stayed away from Lara, bro. Always. His whole career, it's been like that. They just stayed away from Lara, bro. And Lara been around for a long time, y'all. He's been around for a long fucking time, dude. Back when Paul Williams and them was around. Remember those dudes? The Punisher, Paul Williams, and Sergio Martinez, all those dudes. He was around when they was around, bro. That was a long fucking time ago, bro. Lara's still here. And he's still at the top of his game. Meaning that he's still at the top of the, one of the top guys in the sport as far as champions. You know what I'm saying? He just ain't some journeyman out here getting beat up on for a paycheck. He out here kicking ass still. So yeah, that says a lot about the Lara, bro. He ain't out here talking and doing all that shit, but he definitely come do his job. Oh yeah, Lara's that guy, bro. He just don't do no talking or no shit. But he definitely he been looking for the smoke for years too. And he ain't never been able to find it. He was one of those avoided guys. Triple G, none of those dudes want to smoke with him. Yeah, I remember back when Lara used to be pressing dudes. He gave up on all that shit a while ago now. He just fight whenever he can now. Because Lara used to be calling out everybody, trying to get the big fights, but nobody would give him a fight. Lara gangster anyway. He's fighting Janibek, bro. Janibek one of the avoided guys in the sport? Yeah. Lara didn't make no excuses. Oh, he go have to do something. Oh, he go have to beat somebody else first. Nah, man, I'm fighting this dude. I'm old and I'm still fighting this dude. Yeah, man, respect to Lara, bro. The real warrior, bro. But unfortunately, he may not get this fight this weekend, man. That sucks. But we see what happens, man. Hopefully, this was just a minor hiccup, and we can get on with the regular scheduled program. But in more cases than none, man, this shit is what it is. Usually, when these dudes test positive, they testing positive, man. And that B sample always comes back the same. Yeah, Lara never dug no smoke. You said, I'm telling you, Rigo threw the Loma fight. I think so. I kind of think so. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of Loma, too. Loma's one of my favorite guys, too. And so is Rigo, man. But I don't know, man. We talked about that years ago. Rigo just seemed to, I don't know. He just gave up, bro. Like, this shit was crazy, man. That was pretty crazy. He just gave up. Loma was too much for him. But you also got to look at the fact that Loma was able to compete with lightweights and junior welterweights and shit, as small as he was. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe Rigo was just like, fuck this shit, man. This dude is too good. Let me just get up out of here. Or he was on a take for top rank. Because me and my OG always talk about the Nicholas Walters situation. Like, how that just was like just weird as fuck. Like back when Nicholas Walters was doing his thing. And he was supposed to be the rival to Loma. And he went in there and just, Top Rank froze him out for like a year, starved him. And then he came back and just no mas and shit. Just said, fuck this shit. I'm like, what was that, man? And the same thing happened with what's the dude name from Ghana? With the big ass head, look like Troy Isley. Um, y'all know what I'm talking about. The African dude looked like Troy Isley. He fought Miguel Cotto. I can't remember his name. It was the tip of my tongue. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He disappeared too. You know what I'm saying? Just disappeared, dropped off the face of the earth. Where these guys go? Hey, he said Lara was on Fight Night Champions. Yeah, dude. Cubans was avoided though, man. Cuban fighters were avoided for the longest time because they were so good and well schooled. But I think that kind of changed over the years. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, yeah, the Cuban boys was woo, everybody stayed away from them. And they kind of do still. You know what I'm saying? But it's not to the degree that it was. But yeah, you stayed away from the Cuban fighters, bro. You stayed away from them. They'll just outbox you. Salute to Hollow Ninja for the super chat. He says PBC pulled out the protection plan for Jamal Charlo. they knew not to put him in there with Janibek. Another case of the Bud Crawford effect. You said Jamal or Jamel? Nah, they gotta save Jamel and Jamal, bro. Jamal's supposed to be fighting Caleb Plant, which is way too late in my opinion. But I guess now it kind of makes sense still, because both guys at a certain point of their career to where they once weren't what they once was, right? It's just not what they once was. I guess it still makes sense to a degree. And then of course, Jamel, who knows what the hell going on with him? You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna be fighting Spence? Like, what's happening? Like, we don't really know. So I don't know, man. Janibek, he got to prove himself, man. He got to go out here and prove himself to be innocent now. This is not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Because when there ain't everybody don't have this mindset to where we could be objective with it and we not go cast immediate judgment. Everybody's gonna be pointing the finger. Oh man, he's dirty, he's nasty, he's a cheater, blah blah blah. I'll wait a little bit before a little bit more evidence comes out before I say, well, damn, bro, you was cheating. You gotta do better next time, dog. But yeah, man, salute to everybody in the building. Didn't plan on being too long on this live stream. But yeah, man, that's some of the latest news, man. Janibek has some adverse findings in his drug test for his fight against Erislandy Lara this Saturday. But tell me what you guys think, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Catch you guys on the next one. Love you, ma. Peace out.